There it is, my summer car, once again, broken down. I've actually got the jack resting, pushing up against the engine. So once I take these engine mounts off, the engine will probably come crashing out of the vehicle. There we go, excellent. You can see the hole in the oil pan as I mentioned just before. Hole in engine make, piston go bye-bye. For those of you who are just joining us, this is the state of my summer car's engine right now. I really need to think about how I'm going to make money. I'm thinking probably pick some strawberries. There's also the option to make an alcoholic concoction and sell it. So probably look into that too. Oh, that does look good, doesn't it? This is the life. Sausages on the barbecue, beer in the hand, and my summer car in the background. Of course, my summer car is broken, as expected. Hello and welcome back everyone to part 4 of everything wrong with my summer car in 2021. And staring at me right now on the kitchen table is a piston which has broken through the engine of my summer car. And I found that on the driveway somewhere out there. So unfortunately the car is not even here. You may remember if you did watch part 3 that the car basically, the engine imploded as I was driving it home. It's only down the road, it's not far away, but it's now Saturday morning, very early on Saturday morning, so in the game. So what I might do is just hang around, kill time for a little bit, and what I will do is grab the tractor and get my summer car and tow it back to the house. So it's not far away, and I'll see you guys shortly to do that. Alright, so it's daylight now, Saturday, and yeah, this is a little bit unfortunate, but I'm gonna have to tow my summer car back from where it died and back to the house. So just doing that now, trying to keep everything straight as possible anyway. So it seems like the bottom end of the engine, like the pistons themselves, have worn out, and unfortunately I may have jinxed this in a previous part video, because I did mention that I would probably have to pull the engine out at some point soon to fix the pistons, and lo and behold, that has now come to pass from what I can tell. So the pistons in the engine appear to have worn out, at least one of them, and have come crashing through the engine. So we're going to have to pull this engine out, unfortunately. So it's going to be expensive, but yeah, that's part of the pain and joys of my summer car, isn't it? I think the pistons themselves, once they're replaced, I'm not going to stop there. I'm actually going to replace the crankshaft, and I thought it was actually the rocker shaft where the tappets pivot upon. I thought that was the issue initially, but when I found that piston on the road and brought it into the house, I knew that there was something a lot more serious going on. So very sad news indeed. Gonna have to pull this engine out, so in this episode we're gonna be doing that. Okay, so let's make this real quick, folks, no messing around. I'm gonna speed things up a little bit here. I'm just gonna pull the wheels off, pull off the half shafts, and I've actually got the jack resting on the engine, like pushing up against the engine. So once I take these engine mounts off, the engine will probably come crashing out of the vehicle. Probably not the best way to do this, but certainly is the quickest way. So let's just do this last engine mount here, and we should see the engine come crashing out of the vehicle. There we go, excellent. Obviously not a very elegant way of removing the engine, but yeah, certainly seems to do the job. So let's bring this thing into the garage. See, what I'll do first is I'll just put the wheels back on the vehicle and lower it back down onto the ground. This just means I can move the vehicle around if I need to. So just lower that down, there we go. Alright, and then just strong arm this engine into the shed. Don't need no engine hoist here. Alright, so here it sits. Turn on the light. Alright, I've moved the vehicle back out to the driveway. Just going to bring the rest of these parts inside. And we are going to burn the midnight oil, ladies and gentlemen. And we are going to fix this engine. I promise you, once and for all. Well, as much as I can promise that anyway with my summer car. So we'll just close up the doors and we'll be here for a little while. So let's go ahead and pull this engine apart and just see what exactly the damage is. So we'll be speeding through this one as well. Got my beer, got all my supplies, got my tools. So let's get this engine pulled apart, shall we? And there already you can see the hole in the oil pan, which is great. Alright, so we'll start off by removing the gearbox, oil pan, rocker cover, all that sort of stuff. But first we'll have a little drink, because why not? Alright, so rocker cover first. Alright, so there goes that. Taking off the cylinder head now to see just what the pistons look like underneath. Alright, there we go. All that looks fairly normal under the cylinder head. But you would have seen the pistons just now looked not great. So you can see at least two of them are black. Take the gasket off there, cylinder head gasket, which I only just replaced in the game as well. Alright, so let's can see here that the pistons themselves don't look great. So one's missing, obviously it's in the kitchen. The other two are pretty bad, as in destroyed, and the third one there looks like it's on its way out. So oops, just dropped the engine on the ground there. You can see the hole in the oil pan, as I mentioned just before. So yeah, this was a pretty serious bottom end failure. So now we're just going to take the oil pan off. Got the gearbox off as well already. Alright, so there we go. Let's get the oil pan out. And you can see the extent of this hole in the oil pan. It's absolutely massive. So fun. Gonna have to replace the oil pan. Just taking the connecting, or the big end I guess you could say, off the pistons, and having a look here at the cylinder head. You can see that the valve springs are missing. I'm just going to make a quick list of parts we need to replace. Oil pan, pistons, rocker shaft replacement. So yeah, that's going to be at least probably $2,000 at this point. And if you add the crankshaft into there as well, which I do intend to do, that will be probably $3,000-ish. Okay, so I just packed it in for the night. It's Sunday morning now, so I had a bit of a rest overnight in the game. And yeah, just having a look at these jobs here. Don't have, after this firewood delivery job, so I'm just going to plug the phone back in because I really want to get this. I don't have access to the kilju or the sewage truck at this point in time. So because of that, I can't do any of those sewage jobs, unfortunately. But I'm really going to have a think as to how I'm going to make some money here. Because here's the state of the engine right now. I've got the pistons, crankshaft, got the rocker shaft, the main bearing caps. All of that's been removed. Oil pan, as you can see as well. And I've only got about $900 at the moment. So it's going to cost at least $3,000 to replace all these parts, and I want to do this properly. I don't just want to replace the pistons and the rocker shaft. I want to do as many bits and pieces as I can. So the block itself I think looks fine, so that's not really an issue, and we know that the clutch and all that was fine as well. But yeah, I'm going to have to make some money soon. I'm going to have to save some money up, and that definitely won't be in this video, but yeah, this is the way that my summer car is looking at the moment. So definitely back to basics on this one. A little bit annoying that the pistons just wear out like that on you, but I think once I get this engine or majority of these parts replaced, I think we should be in a good spot to have a nice reliable vehicle. So I think what I'm going to do for the rest of Sunday in the game is just have a little bit of a barbecue and just enjoy life a little bit. So just going to turn on the TV and take it easy. There's nothing else really to do right now, being that it's Sunday afternoon. Fleetari, the mechanic, is not open. It's only open Monday to Friday, so just going to take it easy here and watch a bit of TV. Alright, it really is Sunday afternoon, folks, so it really is party time, I guess. Gonna do a little bit of rubbish cleanup first. I noticed that we've got quite a bit of rubbish laying around, so let's just start our bonfire here. It would be nice once I get the engine sorted out to get some nice mags on this vehicle. I think I did mention that in the previous video as well, just to spice up the vehicle a little bit. Got some extractors there as well, got a racing flywheel, sports exhausts, dual carburetors. A lot of these are a little bit out of my price range at the moment, but definitely something to think about. The NOS as well looks interesting, but I don't want to go too crazy with this. I'm after reliability here. I just want a car that won't break down and that will take me around from A to B and a little bit of C without much issue. So there's quite a few little options here as well. Coilover suspension, sports steering wheel. Anyway, I think it's all nice to dream, but yeah, the main focus will be over the coming videos will be to replace these engine parts. But first we've got to make some money, because $900 ain't gonna cut the mustard, unfortunately. So anyway, that's for another time. Let's go ahead and get our barbecue going and think about life. Just pour some charcoal in here, start this fire up. Get our beer. The sun's starting to go down here, so it'd be a perfect little time to just hang out. The barbecue should be ready to cook on shortly. Oh, that does look good, doesn't it? This is the life, isn't it? Sausages on the barbecue, beer in the hand, and my summer car in the background. Of course, my summer car is broken, as expected. It's going to cost a bit of money to fix, but we do have an alternative form of transport at the moment, being our tractor, so it is a shame, but that's life. Sun is starting to go down. I really need to think about how I'm going to make money. I'm thinking probably pick some strawberries. There's also the option to make an alcoholic concoction and sell it, so probably look into that too. Alright folks, I think it's time to turn in for the night pretty much. I've eaten the food, the barbecues. I'm just going to put the barbecue away actually, and yeah, tomorrow being Monday, we really got to start looking at getting my summer car working, because I don't like seeing it like this in the driveway, completely disabled and unable to move. So right now it's serving as my beer holder, but yes, as the sun goes down on the weekend, we've got some hope, so stay tuned. Alright, so just calling it a night here folks. Just gonna have a quick shower. Alright, and it's time for bed. Okay, Monday morning. So what I've done is, so it's around 6 AM in the morning on Monday. I've started to gather up some juice containers. These are empty juice containers. basically empty plastic cans as it talks about in there. So what we need to make this alcoholic drink is sugar, which we have 1 kilo of here, but we need more than that. So we need at least 6 kilos of sugar, so we need 6 packages of sugar. We've only got 1 so far. And we need 1 package of yeast. Alright, so we're going to make this kilju, it's called, this alcoholic drink. Hopefully I'm saying that right. But in order to make this alcoholic drink, we need to go across the river first, and we need to get our lid and bucket. So for those of you who are just joining us, this is the state of my summer car's engine right now. So we need a lot of money to fix it, and I don't have money right now, so I'm gonna have to start making some money first before we can replace these parts. Those pistons are completely gone. Rocker shaft is bent as well, so missing valve springs, all that sort of good stuff. Alright, so we need a bucket and lid, so we can get that from the island out there in the distance, and we just basically need to get onto the boat and head off over to the island. So let's do that now, and while there we can pick up the bucket, and then after that I'm gonna go and get some groceries, being the sugar and the yeast, and then we'll start making our alcoholic drink. And then we can sell this drink once it's brewed. After a few days we can sell it and make a reasonable amount of money. So let's head off over to the island first, get our lid and bucket, which we'll be using to brew our drink. So just going to turn the boat around and head over to the cottage on the island. We should be there before too long. So just quickly, as you're leaving, it's always a good idea to just look back and see where you came from. So our place is basically between these two wooded peaks, I guess you could say. So alright, so here's the island, just pulling up now. Gonna get our lid and bucket. I'm really interested to see how this kilju is gonna turn out. I haven't made it before in the game. Homemade alcoholic drink. So once we get the bucket from here, we'll head off over to the grocery store as well in the boat. There's a few little bits and pieces in the cottage, in and around the cottage. There's a camera here. There's some fireworks in the bag there. You can use the camera to take some photos. So yeah, got a coffee cup, got a coffee pan, you can make some coffee, and got fireworks in the bag there as well. Got a lantern here, which is handy, I guess, when it's dark. And you can sleep here as well, which is cool. So you could actually live on this island if you wanted to, but here's the main reason why we are here: the bucket and lid. So we'll go ahead and just put the lid on this bucket so that there's no chance of losing the lid, because we don't want to lose the lid. Alright, so this is the bucket where we'll be brewing our kilju alcoholic drink. So I've got the bucket in the boat now, in the dinghy. So now I'm just heading over to Tiamo's grocery store. And I believe it's quite early still, it's not 10 AM yet, so he's probably closed. I'm just going to leave the bucket in the boat there, hopefully it's not going to get taken. Alright, so here's Tiamo's store, and locked, just as I thought. Just going to have to kill some time, unfortunately. Alright, here he is. Tiamo himself. No, still locked. It must be about 9 o'clock now. Bus service. Getting quite thirsty, so hopefully he'll open up soon. Okay, it's 10 o'clock now. Yes, alright, he's open. So just a few minutes after 10. He's been in the store for at least an hour now, I reckon. So I had to wait around for that. Anyway, get all the sugar that we can get our hands on. And some yeast. And just heading back to our home dock now, so just grab our groceries, take them into the house along with the bucket. Alright, I just realized the fridge is turned off as well, so it looks like we've got an electricity bill that's due. Oh, that's fantastic, 287 marks, so now we're down to 427 mark. So we really are losing a lot of money. So we've got to make this money, folks, before we even think about spending more money on the Satsuma. Alright, so I've filled up the bucket full of water, and we basically need to add 6 portions of sugar and 1 yeast. There we go. Any order is fine. Put the lid on, and then you should start to hear it bubble. There you go, you can hear it bubble. Just give it a bit of a shake. Oh no, we tipped over the drink. Everything's fine, no problem. Alright, so this is how the fermentation process begins. And you can hear that the bubbling is happening quite frequently at present. Basically, this will take a few days from what I'm led to believe. And once the bubbling sound stops, then you can take the lid off and begin to bottle your drink. And at that point, you can sell it. Alright, so we'll give that a few days, folks. And there's a few other ways of making money as well, which I will explore in a coming video. I don't have the firewood delivery job yet. Phone is definitely working, but I haven't received any phone calls. I've only got sewage cleaning jobs at the moment, and like I mentioned before, I don't have the sewage truck at present, so I don't have access to that, unfortunately. So just gonna have to make do with brewing up some kilju, and we'll revisit this in a few days. And probably I guess it's Monday now, so this week in the game, I mean, we'll see if we can't start to bottle the drink, the alcoholic drink. We'll do some strawberry picking probably later on in the week as well, see how much money that gives us. But yes, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video when we try and make a little bit more money, and once again fix my summer car.